Tao, a state of passivity and awareness. A state of passivity and awareness. Ordinarily, we are in a feverish state, very active. If you become passive, the fever will be lost. You will become passive, non doing. If you relax within yourself, activity will be lost, fever will be lost, and the intensity that comes through the fever will not be there. It will be a state of dullness. You will not be, you will be less aware. For instance, let us look into a couple. They are always two people. Let us take the example of couple. They are always aggressive with one another while relating. Dominant, try to dominate the other. So this is what is the ordinary state. We want our point to be understood. How many times did you not push for your point and totally agreed with the point of the other? This state is that of a feverish state. Both are active. Active but feverish. Feverishly active. And if you find that this is creating a lot of chaos and conflict, one way is we separate. We have our own ways and means. Or one becomes passive. You remember, for walking you need 2 feet. Can you walk on 1 feet? You will be limping. So what happens? Our relationships, our marriage becomes, it starts walking with 2 feet, then it starts becoming a limping one. One, either the male or the female, becomes passive. It is state of non-doing. One decides that I will not do, I will let her do whatever he or she wants to do, and will continue like this as long as possible. So one becomes neutral. Then this is the negative state. You can relax, you can be a little bit comfortable, you can relax within, but there will be no activity as far as the relationship is concerned. Fever will be lost, and the intensity that comes through the fever will also not be there. You will feel a little dull. You will feel as if your awareness is decreasing in the moment. Awareness reaches its pinnacle only when there is a challenge, and how to interact with in that situation. Normally, whenever such situation comes, one withdraws oneself from the active life. This is very often seen in male-female relations. It is seen between employees and employers, between two persons, one who is more active, and if the other cannot put up his point the way it needs to be, he becomes passive. What is happening in that situation? Your awareness is decreasing. In whatever your situation is, whether you are active or passive, your awareness has to be growing. You have entered into this state of passivity or non-doing because of the other, because you feel that it is very difficult to deal with that person. You, instead of trying to find ways and means of growing, using this as an opportunity to grow into awareness, know very more and more ways and means, look at every circumstance and situation that comes your way or whatever is happening around you in life to grow more in awareness. Many times, because of the other, this situation comes in. Every moment life presents situation like this. You are interacting with your spouse, you are interacting with your children, you are interacting with your employees, you are interacting with your employers or anyone else. This situation comes in where you want to be passive, non-doing. This is a negative state. Instead of that, drowning into that, rise to the occasion and grow into awareness. It will be difficult. Difficult because the vehicle is not moving, it is at a standstill. You have to use all the techniques that are in your hand to put it on the line. The train has come out of the train line, so you have to put it back on the line so that it can run smoothly. This requires awareness. So when, because of certain circumstances or situations, knowingly or unknowingly, erroneously, you enter in a state of non-doing, you become passive. You realize the other is very aggressive and you cannot deal with that person. Then you enter into a state of passivity or non-doing. In that you lose your awareness. You are entering into a negative state. This state can can present you with an opportunity to dig deeper into yourself and grow into awareness, or to become more and more passive and negative. It is good. It is an opportunity that you need not be afraid of it, and do not think this passivity that you have entered into is real. It is not. It is not a dancing silence. It is the silence of the graveyard. It is the passivity of the graveyard, not the passivity of happiness. It is good. So do not be afraid of it. Do not think that this passivity is not real. This is being said by your mind, which needs and wants the feverish activity and glow that comes through the fever, through activity. Fever is not awareness, but in fever, in that state of conflict, as you say, you can have a very unhealthy awareness that is diseased. Don't hanker for it. So you go into passivity. Someone, your spouse is very aggressive. You find it is very difficult to deal with that person. You want to go into the state of passivity or non-activity. This is in that state. It will be an unhealthy awareness. Fever, just as fever is not means Being active is not awareness, it is a way. Active and passive are two ways of interaction. Fever is not awareness, but in fever you can have an unhealthy awareness. When you are very aggressive, you think you are getting your work done. This is disease, do not hanker for it. Allow it to fall into passivity, this state of feverishness. In the beginning, it will look that you are losing your awareness. Your awareness is getting less rather than increasing. Allow it to decrease for some time, because whatsoever diseases will passivity, because whatsoever diseases with passivity comes, they were also feverish. That is why awareness is decreasing. So when you are active, there is more energy into you. When you are passive, the energy is less because you are not using your energy. In the beginning, when that state of passivity or the problem comes in, your awareness will start decreasing instead of increasing. Allow this to decrease, because whatsoever diseases with passivity, because this state of passivity always brings a different kind of feverishness. And because of that, the awareness is decreasing. Allow this to decrease in the beginning. A moment will come when it will balance itself. At this point of balance, there will be no increase. That will be the point where your awareness is neither increasing nor decreasing. And that is a healthy point. Now what happened? The fever has gone. Activity is a fever of a different kind. When you are active, when you are aggressive, it is a different kind of fever. When you are passive or inactive, this is also a feverish state, but this is of a different kind of feverish state. You withdraw yourself from the activity and you become passive, not letting the other do whatever one wants to do. Allow this state to happen, and you think your awareness is getting less and less or decreasing instead of increasing. Let it be. There will come a point where it is neither increasing nor decreasing. Instead, it has become a balance. That is the healthy point. Now the fever that was because of the activity and the opposite because of passivity is gone. On that point of balance, whatsoever you have awareness, whatsoever awareness you have, that is real. When you are very active, whatever is your awareness is not real. When you are passive, that's a different kind of feverishness. You are again negatively active, and there is again awareness. This is also not real. When the two are in balance, the activity and inactivity, put it this way here, you are working, you go out and do the work, this is activity, is a feverish state. Then you recede and you are inactive, you are passive. You are cooking something, you finish cooking. Suppose another situation, let me take. You have a big argument with your spouse, with your employer, with your employee, with your business associates or children. There is activity, both of you are active, and nobody is willing to concede. There comes a state of feverishness. You are aware, and in that state of feverishness, we say certain things, or the topic ends. It begins with an argument never settles, and finishes. You are now entered into a state of depression or passivity. I'm not going to deal with that person anymore because it is very difficult. He doesn't want to listen to my point. He just wants to put his point alone. This is you. Because of that situation, you enter into a negative state. This is also negative feverishness. Your awareness will be decreasing. In that, you think that you are gaining, you are winning your point. Your awareness is rising in that sense, that you can deal with anyone in that way, in an aggressive way. But there comes a point when there is neither aggressiveness nor there is passivity. The balance. Consciousness, the awareness is neither increasing nor decreasing. In argument, when you are able to put up your point, it is increasing. But when you are passive, it is decreasing. But the awareness is on the reverse gear at that moment. But it has not attained the neutral state where you can have the balance. Car is either moving, your gear is either shifted to the drive gear forward or reverse gear. So in human relation, when the activity are put in the reverse gear, instead of going forward, instead of going increasing, it is decreasing. The speed, the distance that you have covered is decreasing. You have reached 5 steps forward. Now you put the vehicle in the reverse gear. It is gone back to the point or before the starting point where your relationship has begun from. You have come back to the same point or a point below, before that point where both of you had begun your relationship, begin to relate with one another. This situation is difficult. On that point of balance, whatsoever awareness, so when you were aggressive, drive gear, your awareness, that is a parable. Your awareness was not real. When you went into the reverse gear, because of that situation, you become passive, then it is also not real. When it is balance, that is the state when there is no feverishness. When the vehicle is moving forward, it is in a state of feverishness. When it is moving backward or reverse gear, there is a state of feverishness because it is activity. Activity in the forward gear or the reverse gear, moving forward or moving backward. So passivity is like a reverse gear in human relationship. Activity is like a drive gear in the relationship. Both are necessary, but in the movement of the two, you do not forget the negative point, the neutral point. And once you are aware of your neutral point or the balance point, you can move forward when the situation arises. You can move backward when the situation arises, because you know the balance between the two. When to put the activity on a hold and enter into passivity, you are working. You can overwork yourself, or you remain lazy and no work at all. But there is a point of balance, that you can go only this much work you can do for the day. So you are in reverse gear. Now you say that your energies have reached its pinnacle. I have to go into the reverse gear. This is for the self-analysis, self-understanding and self-growth. So you come back to the neutral point and you recuperate your energy. You exhaust your energies in activity, and you exhaust your energies in non-activity also. When you are non-activity, means you are not passive, a thought process is going on deep within you, that this man is this, or this woman is this. How can I interact with that? And so in your state of passivity, this is what is going on deep within. It is a reverse gear movement, not balance. When the two neutralize, when you are yourself, this is the point of meditation, the balance between the forward and the reverse gear, between the activity and passivity, between the negative and the positive state. It is difficult, because in the beginning you will feel that you are losing grip. You are becoming really dead. Your activity, your alertness, everything has gone. You are relaxing into death. It appears that way because whatsoever you know about life is feverish. So when a situation comes in life like that, you feel that everything has finished in your life. Nothing is remained. Why? What to live for? We want to live for the other, for the activity, but you don't want to live for yourself. So this appears that way because whatsoever you know about life is feverish, whether activity or non-activity, passivity. It is not really life, it is just a fever. What you know life as is just fever, a state of tension, just a state of hyperactivity in the forward gear or in the reverse gear. So in the beginning, as you know only one state, this state is the state of fever. You do not know anything else. How can you compare? When you become passive, relaxed, you will feel that something is lost. And you allow it to be lost. Remain with passivity or whatsoever state is. A balancing point will come soon, when you will be right at the point where there is no fever. So the balancing point, or I will take it in the light of the astrophysics. There is the gravitational force of Earth and that of Sun. You cannot go very far to the Sun. That is known as Lagrange point. We have to discover our Lagrange point in our relationships. This I'll begin tomorrow, only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day.